What's going on, guys? Welcome to another landing page tutorial. So today we're going to focus on this landing page right here where we're trying to give away a ebook for free in return, of course, for our prospects, pretty much their name and email. So we're looking at this landing page, of course, as a lead page where you pretty much just capture your leads. So if you guys like this design and want to follow along and build something similar for your product, feel free to go ahead and do so. We will be building it together, so I'll be building it and you can go ahead and follow along. With that being said, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to drop a like on this video, and don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of these tutorials. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and start building. Alright, so to start building, what I'm going to do here is, well, as you can see, we're in our WordPress dashboard here. So to create a new page, I'm just going to come here to Pages, going to hover over Pages. I'm going to click on Add New. And for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to name it Ebook Tutorial. No capitals, no nothing. Sheesh. Alright, so I'm going to come on the right here and I'm going to say no sidebar, because again we want it to be a blank page. I'm gonna say no template, so default template would put a header and a footer on our page. We don't want any of that, so we're gonna say blank page, right? Because again, we want a blank page. And then I'm gonna come here, actually I'm just gonna click on publish from now because I'm ready to publish the page. That's just my personal preference though. And I'm going to click on use the Divi builder because that's what we'll be using to build our page. And me personally, this also varies from user to user, but me personally, I like using the visual builder aside from, well, rather than the Divi builder itself within, this edit page. Right, so I prefer to use the visual builder, so we're going to go ahead and click on use visual builder. Alright, so we're going to click here, we're going to click on start building, and I'm going to exit out of this here just so I can look at my page and have a clear understanding of what I want to start building. But before we start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the actual landing page that we built itself so that I can look back and forth between the two, so that if I do miss out any sort of specific detail, then I'll have that to be able to look at. Okay, so now that we have that open, we can go ahead and continue designing. Not really sure why I had it closed in the first place, but we got it back. That's all that matters. Alright, so what I'm gonna start with here is this top header where actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this plugin right here that I have. It's called Colorzilla. I have it installed on my Chrome browser, and basically what I use it for is pretty much to just grab any color from whatever web page that the color I want is on. So I just click on this right here. I click on page color active or page color picker active, right? And then I just hover over the color that I want, click on it, and it's automatically copied to my clipboard, so I can just paste it anywhere. So I have this color copied now, so I pretty much just have the color. So let's go ahead and create this top part right here, right? So we're gonna go to our page here, our new page that we built, and I'm gonna click on this block right here. I'm gonna click on its settings so I can edit the background. It's gonna be the first thing I do. I'm gonna come here to background. This is, again, this tab right here is background color. This is gradient. This is background image, and we've got background video. So I'm gonna come here to background color. I'm gonna click on the plus sign. I'm gonna click in here. I'm gonna right click so I can paste the color code that was just copied to my clipboard. And as you can see, it automatically updates. I'm gonna click on this little check mark here because yes, that's the color that I want. I'm gonna click on this check mark also. So we're done with the entire block, right? So now what we need to do is add the text and style it accordingly, right? So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna click on the little add button. So we're gonna add a row looks to me like it's just one row, right? Because the text is pretty much centered and very, very large. I'm going to add one row here, and within that row I'm going to add the text module. Okay, so now we already have some sample text. I'm going to edit this text, and I'm going to write, what does it say? Ebook what? Free ebook. Okay, I'm going to put my all caps on. I'm going to say free ebook. There we go. So what we're going to do here is we're going to highlight free ebook, and I'm going to set it to heading 1 as the font. So now that we have it as heading 1, we know that when we come here to design the text and we go to heading text, we can edit free ebook, the text itself, by just editing the H1 tag here. Okay, so we can come here to default. I'm just going to leave it as default font for now. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click on ultra bold because this looks pretty bold to me. And we're going to come here. I don't have to click on this all caps style right here since it's already in all caps. I'm just going to center it, and we're going to raise the size, the font size, because that font was pretty big. 95, 96 looks pretty accurate, right? Let me just write 96. All right, it seems a lot easier. So we're just going to write 96 up. I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to click the settings tab again for the module now, the text module. I'm going to click on settings. We're going to open that back up. We're going to come back to design, back to heading text, and we're going to add that drop shadow. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like this one right here. So our text looks a little different in color. Ours look a little more gray. This looks a lot more dark and black. So we're going to come up here. We're going to come to heading text color. I'm just going to click on black. I'm going to come down here, and we're going to make sure this is like pure black. Yeah. I'm going to take out. Yep. That looks a lot more accurate. All right. Looking good. So now for the number one reason why your businesses fail. This subtitle right here. All right, so we're gonna add that. This looks like it's about the same font. It just has a lot more spacing, right, between the letters, right? So we're just gonna do the same thing pretty much. We're gonna come in the same module. We're gonna click on settings, and we're gonna add that text below here. So, and I'm gonna leave it on all caps. The number one reason why your businesses fail. So I'm going to highlight this, and we're going to set it to heading 2. So we're going to make it H2, right? We're going to come to design, heading text. We're going to edit the H2 tab now. We're also going to put this on ultra bold, right? Does this look ultra bold also? Looks almost just as bold, but probably a little less. So we're going to put bold. Don't need to put all caps since we already have that on. We're going to center it. We're going to make it black. I'm going to raise the size a little bit. Let's make it 30. We're going to give it some spacing. Too much. There's no space there. That looks all right. We're going to give it some backdrop. And that's it. So now let's compare. Okay, so this text here seems to be taking a lot more header space than our text is. And that's because this row right here is not allowing it to take up as much header space. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this row settings, and we're going to come here to design, alignment. I'm going to make sure it's centered, and sizing. And I'm going to come here to make it full width. And that should fix our issue. Let's see here. All right, so now if we make our text bigger, it should fit more of the row instead of putting fail on the second line like it did just now. So we're going to come to H2. We're going to increase the size. Oh, nope, not the size, the spacing. There we go. Looks a lot better. We're going to come to H1. Let's see if we make this a little bigger, what happens. Yeah, we can leave it at 100. So now if we come back here, looks pretty accurate. It looks like our version has a lot more spacing here. So we're just going to decrease the spacing a little bit just to make it look a little bit more accurate. So heading H2, we're going to decrease the spacing. That looks all right. We're gonna also decrease some of this padding up here and down here. All right, we're looking good. Okay, so now we can start working on this email capture form right here, and this clock, and also this random picture that we found on Google that does not even fit our marketing here. Okay, so actually, you know what, it could pass. You know, the number one reason why your businesses fail, you're not getting great results from online leads. You know what, this actually can pass for our landing page, so I take that back. But let's go ahead and, you know, continue designing the rest of our landing page. So I already have this image saved in here, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a new block. I'm gonna make a regular block, and it looks to me like there are 2 columns, so we're gonna add a row that has 2 columns. Excuse me. All right, so for this module right here on the left, we have an image, right? It's a picture of the book. So we're gonna scroll down and we're gonna find image. I feel like I passed it twice. Okay, image is right here. So once you click on image, it gives you this nice little placeholder here. So what you could do is you could just replace it with any image you want. I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna click on the ebook image, and now we have an image of our ebook, right? So what I'm gonna do is, this image looks like it's a lot closer to our header. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna play with the padding a little bit. So I'm gonna even play with this blocks part padding here. That looks good. That looks good. Even, you know what, we can even play with the images margin. So padding and margin, right? So if you were to look at padding itself, this would be the blocks padding, as in the block itself, you know, where the content, the padding would really just affect where the content lives within the block, right? So if you were to set this much padding, there could be no content that lives within this part of the block, because that's where the padding is. So now margin means if I was to decrease this image's top margin, it would pretty much slide the image up even above or into this padding section that I have set here for the block. Let me demonstrate. So if I was to click on the settings bar, the settings icon for the image, and I come here to spacing, and I come up top to margin, if I was to set this to, let's say, -100, it moves the book all the way up. So now let's say 180, move it a little higher. So now you can see that the book is now in the space that we set for the block's margin. So if you wanted to, you know, basically like overlay anything, you would have to play with the spacing. So either the margin or the padding. Okay, so let's just take a look and see if we've gone too far up. Yeah, it looks like we've gone too far up. So let's adjust our spacing. So instead of 180, let's see 100 again. 100 doesn't look too bad, so we're gonna leave it at 100, and then we're gonna come here to the row settings, and we're going to say alignment. We're gonna center everything. Sizing, we are going to equalize column heights so that our columns are equal in height. And then now we're going to start with this side of our form, right? So we're gonna work on the form itself to capture our prospect's email, and we're gonna add in our countdown. Okay, so let's come here, let's add. We're gonna come to email capture. Where is it? Nope, email opt-in, even better. All right, so looking good. Let's see what our text says. Pro tips for your business. Okay, so our title will be, what was that, all caps? I'm assuming it was all caps. So pro tips for your business. That looks good. And for our text, I think it said something like sign up. Nope, said get my copy. I'm assuming all caps. Let's go back and check. Yep, all caps. And for our body, it says for a limited time only, get the number. I'm just going to copy and paste this because I don't feel like repeating it to myself. I'm gonna hit Control C, and I'm gonna come in here, Control A and Control V, and we've successfully copied and pasted using our keyboard and not our mouse. I feel great. Okay, so now that we have our content in our email form, we're gonna go ahead and edit the style and the layout. So I'm just gonna click on yes here. I'm gonna save my work because that's always a smart thing to do before you go bananas. Okay, so we've saved so far. Let's just go ahead and see what our layout looks like. So we have just name, just one name field and an email field. Our fields are black. Okay, so let's work on that for now. I'm gonna go into our settings, scroll down, we're gonna go to fields. We're gonna click on use single name field. All right, once you click on this little icon here, it takes off the first name, last name, and it just asks you for your name. Okay, so now they are black. So we're gonna come in here to designs, and we're gonna go to fields, which is already open, right? Let's just assume it was closed. We're gonna come to fields. We're gonna click on form field background color. We don't really have to click on it. We just have to click on the color we need, and we're gonna click on black. All right, and actually the text looks like it was gray over there too. So, yep, that looks accurate. Okay, so now we're going to remove this background because it looks like there is no background. It's just pure white. We're going to remove this background color and we're going to decorate our text to be black. Okay, so let's come here. Actually, let's go back here. Scroll down to background. We're going to trash this, which is bug. Clicking this trash button for some reason does not remove the background button. And Divi, if you are watching, please fix that. So we're going to just click on the color and I'm just gonna remove the opacity. So now our background is pretty much clear. Oh wait, oh look at that, you can just scroll down and click on use background color. So we're just gonna say no. So now it has no background color, which is perfect. Okay, so now you can't see anything because our text is white. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come to design, we're gonna come to text, and we're gonna say text color, we're gonna say dark. That's really all you have to do in terms of changing the style itself. But we still have to add our own custom style because as you can see here, this title is a lot more bold and a lot more black, and so is this text. It's really, really black. So we're gonna come to title text. We're gonna come here and we're gonna say ultra bold. Let's match it up and see. Yep, looks ultra bold to me. Excuse me. And we're gonna come here to text color. We're gonna say black. It looks pretty accurate. Yep. We're gonna scroll up. We're gonna close this tab because it's a little confusing to see all that stuff. So now we're gonna come to field text. Nope, sorry, body text. And you can see here, like when you hover over body text, you can see like a blue border pretty much go around the body text. So if you're ever confused between what the field text is and what the body text is, or any text in general, depending on what module you're using, you know, it's really helpful that, you know, you can go ahead and hover over it and see what it's referring to. Okay, so we're going to click on body text. We're going to make it black. That looks accurate. Yep, that looks good. Let's just double check. Oh, this doesn't look black. This looks a lot more grayish. Okay, so I'm going to come to body text. And I'm just going to click on the black color and I'm going to remove some opacity. Make it a little grayer. Actually, you know what? Let's add the opacity back and just edit the color itself. Yeah, this looks pretty accurate. All right, so now we have pretty much most of the work done in terms of the form. We just have to edit our button now, right? And actually, it looks like our fields have a bit of a backdrop or a shadow. Okay, so we're gonna add some shadow to our fields. Let's come here to design. Where are we? We're in fields. Sorry about that. We're gonna scroll down here to fields, and we're gonna add some backdrop. Oh, sorry, I mean shadow. Drop shadow. All right, looking good. So we're gonna come back to designs, and we're gonna edit our button now, right? So I'm gonna actually exit out of this a bit, and I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna hit save. What I really want to do is grab this color again, so I'm just gonna come here up to Colorzilla. I'm gonna click on color picker now because we don't really have to, you know what, actually, so there's two ways I can do this. Since I've already picked the color, if I wasn't on this page anymore, since I've already picked the color, I can come to color picker, and of course I might have accidentally just clicked on a color by mistake, but I can come to color picker and you can see your color history here. I can click on the color that I picked before, and I can copy the code from here, or since I'm still on the page, I can just come up here, click on page active color picker again, and just do the same process again. And as you can see here, it says color copy to your clipboard, and it disappeared pretty fast. So we're gonna come back here to edit our button. I'm gonna come to design, scrolling down to button, we're gonna say yes, use custom style for button. So now our text color, so our text is black, our background is the same color as the header. We have some drop shadow and rounded borders, slightly rounded borders. Okay, sounds good. So we're gonna come here to background color, oh nope, text color, we're gonna say black, background color, we're going to paste the color we just copied. Border color, we're going to paste the color we just copied again because it didn't seem to have any borders. All right, button radius, we'll round our corners a bit. That looks good. For the font, we're going to make it bold. Let's see how bold. It looks super ultra bold, so we're going to make it ultra bold. We're going to take out the button icon because as you can see here, if we hover over it, nothing happens. So no icons pop up when we hover, which means there are no icons. So we're gonna come back here. There seems to also be no drop shadow for the text, so we're not gonna add any of that. But there is drop shadow for the box. So we're gonna add some of that. Let's see how strong it is. It's a lot stronger here, or at least it's just black. Yeah, that looks more accurate. All right, so we have some dark drop shadow. All right, buttons look fairly accurate enough. Okay, so that looks like, yeah, it looks like we've done enough here for the form itself. So now we need to add in our titled countdown. So we're done here with the form. We're just gonna click on save. Actually, again, before we finish with the form, let's go back and make sure it's functional. So we're gonna click on the settings bar. Let's close out this text part. We're gonna click here on email account because this is the most important part of your form. Without this, your form is useless because it will simply not appear. So what you want to do here is you want to connect your email provider. All right, so whatever platform you use to capture your email lists, this is where you want to pretty much connect the list that you want to associate with this email capture form. All right, so me as an example, I'm just going to use an email list that I use for my for one of my Instagram courses, and I use it using MailChimp. Well, I integrate the list using MailChimp. So if you don't already have a MailChimp list connected to your WordPress, you can simply just do it from here. You can click on this add button and it will ask you for your MailChimp account name and API key. You just add those two things in there. They're really easy to find within your MailChimp account. Once you've done that, you just come back here, you refresh, and your information should come up here. If you don't see your list, you can click on fetch list and it will refresh itself and your list will pop up. Okay, that's it. That is how you connect your email account to your email opt-in form using Divi and WordPress. So I'm going to click on this check mark here because I'm done with that. We're going to save again because I'm a saving freak sometimes. Okay, now we're going to add our countdown. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on this little add button because I want to add a module in this same column as the email opt-in. I'm going to come down here to countdown timer. Where is it? Countdown timer. There you go. All right. So let's compare styling. So we have no background or white background. We're just going to say no background, dark text, all caps, drop shadow. All right. And the numbers are the same color as our header. So let's come here. Oh, what does the text say? What does the text say? Offer runs out in. Okay. So we're going to edit our header. We're going to say offer runs out in. Oh, did I take the caps off? Crap. I can edit that in design. Okay, so I forgot to put all caps, but we're just gonna edit that in design so that you guys can see how both methods work out. All right, so let's come here to background and let's remove this background. We're gonna say nope for use background color. And again, everything goes blank because of the text color. So we're gonna come to text, we're gonna say dark. Now you can see everything again. All right, so now we're gonna come to title text and we're gonna make it bold, ultra bold. And here we're gonna click on all caps for the font style. And it makes it all caps for us. We're gonna center it, even though it's already centered, but let's force that. And we're gonna make it black. How big is this text? Yeah, it doesn't look too different from what we already have as a default. All right, so now we're just gonna add the shadow to it. That looks good. Our text looks pretty accurate. So we're gonna come down to the numbers and we're going to center just because. We're gonna edit the color. We're gonna paste in our code. There we go. Let's see what else. Looks a little bit more bold than the default. Can we bold it? There we go. We'll come here to bold. Looks semi-bold actually. Yeah, semi-bold is a little more accurate. It looks a little bit smaller also. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, it looks like that. And the titles are definitely a lot smaller. So label text. I'm gonna come here. We're gonna say 10. Is it that small? No, we're gonna say 12. That looks more accurate. All right, so far so good. The only thing I'm noticing is that there's a little bit more space between this form and our countdown timer than we have here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here to our countdown timer settings. I'm gonna come to design and I'm gonna come to spacing. Again, we're talking margins and padding. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add some top padding just to move it down a bit. I'm gonna say 12. 12 looks pretty much perfect. Yep, not too shabby. Always wanted to say that. All right, so we're gonna hit save and we're looking really good. So all we're really missing here is an accurate timer. So 2 days, 2 hours, 36 minutes. We have here 29 days. I don't know if you want to stick around for this part, but I'm just gonna assume it's 2 days from now. What's today's date? Oh my goodness, October 24th. 2 days from now is the 26th. Let's see. Did that even work? Oh, this is November. Oh my god. 26. Oh, it's 1 day. All right. Accurate enough. 2 hours, 36 minutes. Yeah, you guys can play around with this if you want to. Let's see. 2 hours. Let's just say 32 minutes. But you guys get the idea. We've gone ahead and we've duplicated this free ebook landing page to our own free ebook landing page using Divi and WordPress. Divi itself makes it very simple to pretty much design your web pages or your websites to your own liking. You know, I mean, like, there's a lot of themes out there, of course, that you can use with WordPress. A lot of which are free. Also, a lot of which are, you know, paid. Divi is not free. Divi is a paid theme. But it is extremely flexible. Like, you're allowed to do as much as you would pretty much like to do, without the need to add in any code. As you can see, we've built this whole landing page without touching any sort of code at all. The only piece of code we've touched were hexadecimals, right? Is that what this is called? Or RGB values? I don't even know what this is. I think this is called a hex value, right? So that's really the only piece of code that we've touched, and this is nowhere near. Oh yeah, it is. Yep, a hex value, right? So that's the only piece of code that we've used, right? We haven't used any HTML, any CSS, any JavaScript. We haven't touched any pieces of code at all. So you get the idea, right? Drag and drop to basically, well, at basically its finest. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a like. And if you'd like to keep up with more and, you know, basically stay up to date with my other videos, because I will be doing more tutorials like this, feel free to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be one of the first people to see my video and be pretty much notified that I've uploaded a new video. All right, so with all that being said, again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comment below, in the comment section below. Sorry. So yeah, with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'm out of here. Peace.